Welcome to Nordson Electronics Solutions here at IPC Apex Expo. I'm joined by Tim Wammes. Nice to see you, Tim.
Thank you.
So we're here in front of the standard Asyntec selective coating system for conformal coating. But this is one with a difference. It's built in to try and have continuous uptime and the minimum amount of operator intervention. Can you explain to us some of the features built into this system?
Certainly. This SL1040, starting in the center of the conveyor rail, we're going to have an ultrasonic solvent cup. The purpose of ultrasonic is to help keep the nozzle clean. To any debris that might build up on the nozzle during production, you can go to ultrasonic cup, sit in there for between 3 to 5 seconds, and it will remove the debris from the cup.
Right.
After you do that, you come out, spray in the purge cup, and you're back in production.
So this is for, when the system's been running after a while, sometimes the nozzles start to clog a little bit. So you would bring it over here, clean it in the ultrasonic cup, and then purge it, then back into production. And it saves you having to stop the machine. Yeah,
it saves us from stopping the machine, saves the operators from having to go in and do any maintenance to the nozzles.
Right. Okay. And then the other thing is, of course, occasionally, you do stop the machine because operator goes to lunch or he's off overnight on a shift or something like that. But you want to keep the nozzles in a liquid state. So you've got a system here for 3 cups there for parking the nozzles.
Yes. So this is a self-leveling solvent system that when I'm not in production, I'm going to park the nozzles in the cup. And it all starts over on the right side of the machine in a reservoir. Mm-hmm. And the reservoir has the solvent in it. There's a pump, and that pump will automatically fill them cups to keep them at the right level. There's a low fluid sensor in the reservoir, so when that goes low is the time that the operator has to open up the door, fill the solvent reservoir, and then shut the door, and you're back in production again.
Okay. So how long can the system go without intervention? Without having to top up the reservoir and that type of thing.
The period for filling the reservoir, depending on the solvent, how quick it's going to evaporate, but most solvents that reservoir can sustain probably several shifts of solvent. Right. So you wouldn't have to go into 2-3 shifts probably.
Is there any restriction on the types of nozzles that you can use this on?
No, we can spray any form of coating that's available. Mm-hmm. We have 3 applicators shown here: our SE280, our SE450, and our SE350. Okay. The combination of all those, we could spray all the form of coatings that are available.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Okay. So Tim, thank you very much for showing us the latest version of the Select Coat today. We're going to go over now and take a look at the Select Synchro, which is at the other side of the booth.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now we're over at the Select Synchro end of the booth, and I'm joined by Greg Goodall. Nice to see you, Greg.
Yeah, you too, thank you.
So this is a completely redesigned system from the ground up, and it uses the rule of 5, I believe, to sort of have 5 times the amount of functionality in a fifth of the space almost.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, we've really worked at keeping the footprint as small as possible and getting the throughput as much as possible.
Okay. So let's talk about how you achieved that. Starting at the end with the fluxer, tell us how it operates.
So the system uses a continuous motion of the conveyor. So one of the things that we had noticed was that you're going to lose your throughput time with every stop that has to get made in some modular type systems. And in this case, the answer was just keep it moving. And to do that, the system will track along with the board so that the fluxing and the soldering is all happening just as it should on the board.
Right. Okay. So essentially the fluxer is traveling along with the board as it traverses through the system.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Do you have any sort of built-in systems to check for nozzle clogging or anything like that on the fluxer?
Oh, absolutely. So the real benefit is only of that constant motion is only going to be as good as its ability to continue motion. So yes, we have onboard video, which is watching the solder nozzles to control the wave heights. We have a predictable maintenance schedule so that the machine can create an appropriate gap in the boards so that a solder pot can return to its maintenance position to get an automatic nozzle tinning, to get automatic pot refills, and get right back to work. So everything is handled operator hands off.
Okay. And so that same principle, though, is carried then throughout the machine. It follows the board and is carried through into the soldering part of the process as well.
Yes, absolutely. So when the full program is built, the system will automatically calculate the most efficient way to get that work distributed to all 5 solder pots. And so each solder pot has its own job to do, and it completes that on every board.
Excellent. Okay, so therefore, what we're looking at here is IR infrared heaters at the top, which you use obviously to sort of ramp up towards peak temperature and then ramp down slowly as the board leaves the process.
Yes, absolutely. We've got top-side preheating all the way throughout. We also have bottom-side preheating here at the entrance, just beyond the fluxing, so you can get that more immediate ramp up in temperature in this area here. Every preheater is controllable for a duty cycle, so that's how we can make sure that we're getting just the right amount of heat at the intro and the maintenance throughout.
Okay, excellent. Well, it looks an extremely well designed system. I mean, we know that Nordson had a couple of selective acquisitions, so you've taken the combination of the technologies that you've learned there and obviously produced a far superior system.
Oh, absolutely. This was many years of combined knowledge that went into making this. It took a lot of minds working together, and really what's the best combination of events to make it work. So,
congratulations. It's a very impressive piece of equipment.
Syncro. Join the revolution. Non-stop selective soldering. Increase UPH. Reduce maintenance. Small footprint. Contact us today for more details.